It's interesting, Matt. Coming over to you if I can, Matt. I mean, you tell me what you feel the way forward is, Matt. Look, we've seen a lot of names linked with the Spurs job. We understand Luis Enrique will be open to holding talks with Tottenham. I mean, there's obviously been, again, there's, if you believe obviously what you read with Paratici, who's now been heading the hunt for the manager, there's several Italian managers that are on the list, the likes of Spalletti, of course, De Zerbi, who Ricky's just mentioned there. Doesn't seem that Pochettino would be on that list if we're led to believe that Paratici is in control of the situation. Having said that, Paratici has got his own case hanging over him at the moment. Matt, what do you see the future holding with regards to the potential next Spurs manager?
I don't know, but my biggest fear is that I don't think the club knows. And that really does terrify me. I mean, if anyone in the football club thinks Luciano Spalletti is going to walk away from that Napoli team and take over this sinking ship, I think I need a bit of whatever they're having, because it's simply not going to happen. You know, Roberto De Zerbi, I think, will be a really exciting one. Marcelo Gallardo, Mauricio Pochettino coming back, I would personally would love to see, but that's my heart ruling my head when I say that. But the common factor in all the managers that I want to see, and the common factor in the managers that I think should be the next Tottenham manager, is that they're a project. You know, I think we're in a situation now where we need a hard reset and we need to get back to square one. We need to put the basics, the foundations, and the core values back into our football team and start to move forward again. Because I say this every single time we have this conversation about Spurs, that right now the team, the 11 that's out there, the 9 players that are on the bench, whatever it is, it's this horrendous mix and match and pick and mix of Pochettino players with Nuno Espirito Santo players, with Jose players, with Antonio Conte players. There's so many different styles, and there's so many different, there are players in there that thrive on such different things that you're never going to really be able to get a consistent tune out of them. So, I mean, like, there's very talented players in there. Of course, we have an immensely talented squad when you look at Romero, Bentancur, Kulusevski, and a few others. But what terrifies me is that we've let an era of Kane, Lloris, and players that have come and gone like Toby, Jan, Eriksson, we've let that go without really getting the benefit of that. We have such a good opportunity with this new bunch of players that's coming in that we can see being the future of Tottenham. I'd even add Oliver Skip in that list with how he's progressed in the last couple of months. We can't afford to let that go. And what we need to do, instead of promising Harry Kane every 6 months, yeah, we'll build a project around you, yeah, you'll be the face of what we want to do next, actually do it. And bring in a manager who is willing to commit that time, and a manager who doesn't feel like he's doing us a favour in being our manager. And I'll be the first to say, when Conte first came in, I loved the way he called the board out in the press conferences. I loved the way he was honest. I love the way he didn't shy away from actually analysing a player's performance in a press conference. But things like that they have a shelf life. You know, if you're 18 months into your time at the club and you're still doing the exact same things and it's still not working, you got to switch it up. You got to try something. You know, these fans aren't going to stay on your side if you're saying that comment like, getting the top 4 is like winning the league. We've been in the top 4 or 5 of the last 7 seasons. We're Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. The top 4 is where we belong. If you can't get us into that, you're probably not the right man for the job. So it's for me, we just need to go back to what has worked for us. You know, I personally don't think we're going to get a manager who is as good as Antonio Conte at winning trophies. I don't think we're going to get someone of his caliber anytime soon. But I'm not worried about that, because we need someone who fits Tottenham. We need someone who fits what we as the fans want to see as well. Because if you know, I don't know how many people are watching, but the 3 of you there, to everyone in the chat, everyone listening on the podcast afterwards, right now, are you proud of Tottenham? Are you proud to be a fan when you look at the football that we're playing, when you look at the toxicity within the fan base, you look at what seems to be a lack of cohesion within that squad? Are you genuinely proud of that? Are you more proud of it than you were under Pochettino? And yes, we didn't win any trophies, but you can be damn sure that every single one of us could not wait till 3 o'clock on a Saturday. We all loved watching the football team play. And if that's the roots and the basics that we have to go back to before we can propel ourselves to where we want to be and the successful club that we know we can be, then so be it. I just want to know where we're going, and I want to know that this club does have a future, because I'm 22 years of age. I've got 50, 60 years left of this. If it's going to be the same, till I'm gone, I don't know if I can do it.
So when I look at Pochettino, I know you talk about the last 12 to 18 months, okay? But you tend to forget the first 12 months or the first 24 months. The first 12 months, what did he do? He came in and he cleared the decks. He got rid of Adebayor, Soldado. He got rid of a ton of players that were not up to scratch. Even when it comes down to Bentaleb, it was Bentaleb and Mason in the midfield, all right? And they were running things in his first season. And Bentaleb came with some attitude and he sold him, and we put in Delhi there. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there was those things. He overachieved so quickly, and he got us going so quickly that we sometimes forget how good and how much he done for us as a club side. We were fearless against every single side we went up against. I don't care who we went up against, whether it was Real Madrid or whether it was Juventus. And I hate to say it, even if it was Bayern Munich, right? But I don't care who we went up against. We went up against Dortmund how many times? And Dortmund were considered the crown jewels of youth players from Europe going there to achieve something. And we took them on every season in the Champions League. He made us the regular Champions League. He did give us pride. He did shut down so many hoodoos that we had. We didn't win here, we didn't win there, and he would shut it down. And he cares and loves us. He's the one that if he was to come back, he would. I kind of said this to Costa earlier on the phone, but I said he still wears the tracksuit, he still wears the t-shirt. Do you know what I mean? I guarantee you that he's still watching us, and I guarantee you that he's probably figured out a system that would help us out, that would work for what Tottenham want to achieve. Also, you've got to look at the hindsight of things. He's been away. He's been at PSG. He got slagged off of being at PSG, but we all know from a personal point of view what type of player Pochettino likes. He likes a young player that he can put his influence on, that he can go run through brick walls for me. But you can't say that to Neymar or Messi because they look at you and go, bruv, do you know who I am? Do you know how much I've got in the bank? I'm just going to jump on this plane and go back to Brazil and do what I need to do. Do you know what I mean? And I'll see you in April or May. Do you know? So you've got attitude problems, you've got money problems, you've got ego problems, you've got eccentricity problems that he had to deal with there. If he comes back to Tottenham, I think a bit like Eddie Howe, when he had his break, right, from when he finished at Bournemouth and before he went to Newcastle, he went on a couple of not coaching courses, but when you go to other clubs and you chat to other managers and you chat about philosophy,
just refreshing himself. Yeah,
the refresher of things. I fully believe that Pochettino has done that. I fully believe that Pochettino would be the one that went through the hard times like he did the first round to get to the good times. My fear is like what you said there, Rix, is that he comes back and spoils his legacy, like tramples on his legacy. You've got to remember that the reason that he lost it towards the end of our time is because for all he done, he still didn't get back. For all the credit he put up in the bank, he still couldn't get nothing out from the cash machine. And he's like, what? So I'm just going to be a head coach then. I'm not a manager. I'm a head coach. Call me, change my title. Do you remember all those press conferences? It's because he got so angry and frustrated with how he was being treated after he achieved so much. So of course it's going to go sour. So a lot of people, if he comes back, a lot of people have got to eat humble pie and they've got to admit their wrongs. And I'm including the board in this. They've got to admit their wrongs. And then you've got to put your trust in somebody who loves us and breathes and eats and sleeps and breathes what Tottenham is. I've never seen a manager cry for us. I've never seen a manager that passionate when he's like this. Do you remember him walking into the dressing room when he's like, ah, and he's like grabbing his, and he's like, yeah, that was a big witness. Like the note that he left. Tell me another manager that's left a note. Tell me another manager. Soon as they're gone, they're like, see you later, bye. Is that my cab? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're off.
Yeah,
they're
no,
gone.
it's true.
So there's a difference with feeling, bro, and there's a difference with fit. There's some players that won't fit our system, and there's some managers that won't fit our club. But Pochettino is a man that does, and he loves us inside backwards.
Rick, my fear is though, Norwood. I think my fear is, as I said before, he did have the transfer window of 2019 was a terrible transfer window, right? He wanted Ndombele. He can't even really get into the Napoli side now on loan. Lo Celso, I don't know what he's doing over in Spain. Maybe Matty will enlighten me on that. But I think these players, if he does come back, they will get another chance. Now, do they come back and get another chance with fire in their belly, or will they come back going, I can't be asked, I'm going to look for a move? Then we're back to square one again, Rick. So I'm saying, because you still got players there, they let him down the first time round. Eric Dyer couldn't get in the team. And
but
now
he
he's
knows
our first
that.
choice centre back.
Yeah, but he knows that. He knows that Dyer couldn't get in the team. He knows that. He knows what type of cap. Dyer's a bit of a leader. Not that he's a captain, but he is a bit of a leader. And that's why so many managers have been, you know, in favour of Dyer. But Poch wasn't. And he started dropping Dyer, and he started dropping Davies, and he started dropping a couple of others. And he will make the hardest decisions. I don't think there's certain players that he didn't get to work with, Lo Celso and Ndombele. But at the same time, I think that he's seen it. He's been watching us this whole time. And they might not be the right fit and have the right fight for the job. So I see him making those hard decisions.